Please welcome, representing Czechia, Jakub Mensik. And please welcome, representing Australia, Alex Minaur.
Well, a very serious face of Alex Minaur, rightfully so. He's got some work to do to find some form. Came out in the opening match and was outclassed by Kasper Ruud of Norway. So Todd Woodbridge in the commentary position, leading the way with Jim Courier alongside me here for this match. Good evening to you, Jim.
It's a very good evening to you and everyone watching from wherever you may be. Excited to see this contest. Alex Minaur with his captain Leighton Hewitt in a must-win match for Team Australia, one would think. And the Demon with a lot to prove tonight. Didn't get off to the best start for his 2026 season with that match against Kasper Ruud, as you mentioned, Todd, losing 3-3 and having real problems with his serve. This guy had no trouble with his serve. Boy, did Mensik look awfully good in his win over Kasper Ruud. So they're set, and we will listen in.
Okay, gentlemen, like usual, net sensor TV changeover sit on today's time. Third clock around the corner, so keep an eye on it all the time. And we have the video review, so please let me know in a timely and a clearly manner. A distraction, like a ball kid drop a ball, you need to stop immediately. Otherwise, you can ask after. Questions? Nope. So we can ask Jakob, AO or Mark Edmondson? AO. Okay, AO, then a photo together. Up in the air. Wow, good flip. Yes, Jakob?
I'll serve.
Serve, okay. You stay. Perfect. So, nice picture together here. Stay in the middle. Sorry.
Jakub Mensik wins the toss. Have a look at that smile. You think he's happy to be out there? Big night for that young fella. And a big night for these two as they get set to represent their countries. So if you are just joining us, Barbora Krejcikova defeating Maya Joint in straight sets. The experience of the two-time major champion really showing. Of course, too, Maya Joint struggling off the back of some illness early in the tournament. So good to see that she's on the mend and back in match play. So let's take a look at the bio of Jakub Mensik. He is 20 years of age, 196 centimetres tall, a big frame for a young man who carries a big game and plenty of excitement around him, particularly at the beginning of last season when he defeated Novak Djokovic to win the Masters 1000 in Miami.
Yeah, of the players 21 years and younger, this 20-year-old is the highest ranked, currently 18 in the live rankings, and he has major power. He's a big guy. He's tall, strong, moves well. Has a great backhand. If you haven't seen him play, the backhand and the serve are big weapons. So is his movement for his size. And he's working on his forehand, which is still a work in progress, but looked awfully good. He'll need it tonight against this crafty Aussie.
Well, he certainly is crafty. He's you know, one of the hardest workers on tour. 26 years of age he is now, so starting to get right into the meat of his career. And over the last 12-18 months, physically he has started to fill out and build a little extra power into his game. Currently ranked number 7 in the world, which is phenomenal for what he's been able to do in the past 12 months. Well, a man that he has had a lot to do with throughout his career is the captain, and sitting courtside, former world #1, major champion. Going to pump you up as much as I can, Leighton. Great to have you. Tell us about what we can expect from Demon tonight, particularly after trying to bounce back from that first loss to Kasper Ruud.
Yeah, well, I thought Kasper played an extraordinary match a few nights ago as well, but for Alex, it was really getting used to the conditions as well, slightly heavier conditions playing at night time. It was fairly late by the time they got on a few nights ago as well, so Alex will be better prepared for tonight's match. But Mensik, as you guys we're talking about he's a young player on the rise, you know, to win a Masters 1000 already in his early in his career. A fantastic achievement, and he does have plenty of weapons, and he continues to get better and better. I'm sure he trained extremely hard in the off season, and yeah, Alex is going to have his work cut out tonight, but you know, I think it's a lot about variety out here tonight, trying to keep the big guy off balance.
Yeah, Leighton, Jim here. These guys played at the Laver Cup, and Alex leads 4-0 in their head-to-head. And one tactic that was notable in the Laver Cup was the introduction of the slice backhand from Alex. It was extremely effective. How much will we see that tonight?
Yeah, I still think a fair bit tonight. You know, trying to get the big guy off the baseline where he's so comfortable as well. Trying to use the short slice at times and even the drop shot and just keep him moving. Try and play on Alex's terms as much as possible. It's a lot easier said than done, though, especially trying to use the slice off the pace that Mensik can create from the back of the court. So you've got to try and pick the right times to be able to do it and sort of nullify all the firepower.
Well, all right, Leighton, we'll let you sort of settle in as the guys take their final serves, and thanks for joining us, and good luck out there.
1 minute.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating for me, because I feel the last couple of seasons coming back to Australia, being a top 10 player, that Alex has felt a little more pressure. When he was younger and playing back here, he just seemed to really thrive in the environment of being in Sydney, use the crowd early on, and there was a little bit more, let's call it just enjoyment in the body language that he brought. And he's brought more seriousness to his game because he is trying to take it to that next level. But it's a fine line that you walk.
No, it certainly is. And as the leading man here in the summer of tennis in Australia, you know, so we see the standings here and the need for Australia to put a win on the board here as they fight to reach the quarterfinals. It's really, you know, for Alex, there's a lot on his plate. He has a lot of attention. There's a lot of media. There's probably a lot of commercial opportunities and obligations that he has to factor in. But he also realizes that this is the prime of his career. He is in it. His chances to go deep in the Australian Open, he's gone deep. He was a quarterfinalist last year. He's played well there the last few. He's been in the 4th round the last 4 episodes of the Australian Open. So he's played well, but he wants to do better. And he knows that even as a younger man, that this is the time. And he needs to get a little momentum here against a very challenging opponent.
For Team Czechia. Ready? Play.
So we're all set.
Love 15.
One of the issues for Minaur and his first match this season against Casper Ruud was he did a lot of that in his first 2 service games. He had 5 double faults in his first 2 service games and got behind and couldn't really recover.
Well, just for those of our viewers that have not seen a lot of him, particularly here in Australia, his playing style, you could say, big, accurate first serve. It's one of his primary weapons. His flat penetrating forehand that you talked about. For his height, just over 6'4", an excellent mover. And for being so young, he's actually quite calm. He's pretty good with decision making under pressure moments.
15.
And he, last season, was one of the most accurate and devastating servers in men's tennis. His first serve has plenty of pace, but when he makes it, it is so close to the line most of the time. Like that. And he has a ball toss that doesn't give away where he's going to serve. It's a little bit like Roger Federer's serve, where Federer could throw the ball toss in the same spot and hit all the different places in the service box. It's difficult to read it, and he's got power.
Let's take a look at that service action, Jim.
It's beautiful. He's got the step-up serves. The back foot slides underneath. Gets a nice arch, good shoulder turn. And then he is going to launch himself and use that height to great effect. Look at the spring in the legs. And he just spikes that serve. So this is a great battle within the battle. One of the best servers in men's tennis against a guy who's been one of the best returners now for many years, in Alex.
And in the battle of heads-to-head, which, as you mentioned, for love in favour of Alex, one of the key things that sort of eats away at Mensik is the determination to chase every ball down, and the fact that he's very hard to hit through. He does occasionally get a little impatient when he comes up against Alex.
Advantage. Team Czechia.
The baseline exchanges here. The forehand side of Mensik is the one that he spent the offseason working on, trying to improve, because that's the one that let him down a lot when Alex beat him in San Francisco in the Laver Cup representing Team World. His backhand is very solid. The forehand, it comes and goes. So expect to see Alex targeting that side. And I think the slice backhand also is a good idea. Keep it low on that forehand. That's a bad miss from the Aussie there.
Advantage, Team Czechia.
Yuri Novak, captain of Team Czechia, out with the towel, offering some support early.
Well, what a tough opening game this is turning out to be. Third deuce. And it's a much better start in terms of energy than what he brought against Casper Ruud a couple of days ago.
Advantage, Team Czechia.
Eventually,
Team Czechia.
Mensik gets that hold of serve and goes up at 1-love. Courtside with us tonight, it's a warm welcome to Wally Musser. I haven't had a chance to get you in, Wally, but give us a bit of insight into the conditions and what you might see happening here tonight.
Yeah, it's warm in here, it's humid. The ball, it'll travel through the air, but you know, Todd, it's just styles v styles. I'm sitting here watching, we watched Demon play Casper Ruud, and then Mensik plays Casper Ruud. Now Demon's playing Mensik, and Demon, he just hits the ball so close to the net. I think Mensik probably hit 4 or 5 shots there, and you remember one forehand where Demon played a slice. He's hit 4 or 5 shots that landed knee height or below, and he didn't enjoy it. A couple of forehands, one in the net, one miss hit, and one backhand he played very carefully with a slice. So that trajectory of Demon definitely bothers him. All the spin and height of the bounce off Casper Ruud, it looked like Mensik enjoyed that. So Demon's got something going in his favour already as far as I'm concerned. I kind of agree with Jim, that wild forehand. He got juice. You know, what he does so well when he's playing well is he just maintains the rage, he maintains the pressure. Just cut out those loose errors early. and no double faults, please.
Well, when you're talking about that slice, there's a little bit of a backstory to that, because after having played Davis Cup on this court in September, Australia unfortunately went out to Belgium. Days later, Alex went over to San Francisco for the Laver Cup, and he had the opportunity to have Captain Andre Agassi, Vice Captain Pat Rafter, chat to him about his game style.
Net for service.
So you've got one of the great returners, baseliners in Agassi, and then also one of the great kind of aggressive, serve volleyers, but understanding how to build pressure and change things up in Pat Rafter.
Net for service.
One of the things that they then began to talk about was that, Alex, you have one of the best slices in the men's game, but you're not using it effectively.
Net for service.
And Jim, in the Laver Cup, in 2 big matches against this man on court and Alexander Zverev, he just tore them apart with a firm, short slice.
Yep, he used the short chip to bring them in on the backhand side. He used the slider down the line as well, the slice that moves away. If it was coming down the court on this camera, it would be going down this line and then kind of skidding out towards the doubles alley to the left, away from the center of the court. It, particularly with tall guys, as Wally referred to, it's more challenging. And Todd, you made your living making people like us uncomfortable with your slice, so you know a thing or two about that.
Yeah, that was all I had in a way. I'm a small guy, I didn't have a big serve, and you have to look up the other end of the court and say, well, where can I find a weakness or somewhere where I can get a ball to attack on? And that's kind of what Alex really has to live by. He has talked about this season trying to go bigger and take more time away, but you can't do that in every match. Sometimes you actually have to tactically break your opponent down.
Yeah, what an opportunity. There's Leighton Hewitt in shot, but what an opportunity to have Agassi and Rafter in your ear, and you take information on board, see what works for you, spit some of it out, but yeah, big guy, short slice, bring him in when he doesn't want to come in. Absolutely.
Well, just to close the loop on the slice backhand, Rafter was in his ear for one particular practice that I observed. It was a closed building at the Laver Cup, no one in the space except for basically Agassi, Rafter, Minaur, and another hitting partner. And for 30 minutes they worked on variations of where to use the slice: short, deep, down the line, cross court. It's no mistake that it worked that weekend.
Australia.
It's a much better start. Holds his opening service game to level at 1-1.
1 game on.
And an example right there of Mensik not really enjoying being brought forward. So we've set up that play. We'll see how much it gets used throughout the match.
But there's so much to it as well, isn't there, Todd? A slice is like a topspin. Some balls have more bite, others have less. Placement, pace, height. And Demon can explore all of those.
Love.
Can I just ask, guys, the surface at the Laver Cup?
It's a indoor hard court that's quite slow.
Slow.
Gritty and slow.
So grippier than tonight.
Yes. So more difficult to finish ground strokes past someone as speedy as Minaur. So he was able to extend rallies and make it very uncomfortable for Mensik.
40 love.
It's a little investment play at 40 love for Mensik, going for a hybrid. That speed was in between his first serve speed and his second serve speed. So with the safety of that scoreboard, he's just trying to send a message to Minaur that you can't just expect my second serve to be the same all the time.
There it is. And where Wally was talking about the variations, one of the things is I think a lot of the players in this particular era see the slice as a defensive shot. But what Alex is able to do here, you can see from this side on, he actually gets a lot of speed through it, and it sits and stays hard through the court. And it is actually offensive in this case. See, acceleration through impact there, that gets the ball to stay low and quick and firm through the court. But Mensik seals the game with an ace, and it's a nice steady start for both teams. 2-1, Czechia lead.
Team Czechia is 2 games to 1.
And perfect evening here in Sydney as the sun begins to set on another day's play. It's been a good day's play. But if you get the opportunity, it's beach weather, and this is the start of the northern beaches, and that's Manly. Just one of the great spots to go. Our own Wally Masur has lived over there, and it hosts millions of visitors every year. And you can get there straight from Circular Quay in the CBD. Take the ferry over, spend some time there, come back. I mean, absolutely beautiful it is. And there you have it. You see the city at the top of your screen right there. And then if you keep going further west, you get out to Sydney Olympic Park, and where we are at with Ken Rosal Arena. Have a look at the crowd making their way in, almost a full house. Well, the crowds here in Sydney throughout this week have been absolutely sensational. A full house again tonight here for Team Australia. So, okie dokie, it's been a good start to this match. We've started to see the patterns of play developing. Both players know what they want to try to do to each other in terms of finding gaps and holes, and we'll see whether Alex de Minaur can level here. 1-2, first set.
Todd, I was thinking of getting Rafter on the phone just to kind of talk us through this and the work that he did with Demon at the Laver Cup, but he's in Aspen skiing, so it might be hard to get him. As you do in early January.
Beautiful. Well, when you talk about moving, he was one of the best movers on the tennis court, Pat, but he actually didn't like it when things were a little slippery, so I don't know that he'd be great on the slopes, would he?
I think he's more interested in the appraise game at this stage of his life.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, I think so. Demon would be quite handy on the mountain at some day, huh?
Well, the way
pretty good slalomer.
Yeah, the way he slides into it.
You think Pat would be a bit more Lloyd Christmas, do you?
Yeah, I do. Demon knows a little thing or two about altitude in the rankings. He's been as high as number 6. That was his career high ranking. He first got there in July of 2024. And this year on the official rankings, as of Monday, he's back to number 6. Started the year number 7, but edged up. Things always are moving around based on what the players did this time last year. But he's up there in high altitude, big time in the rankings.
I have 40-15.
It's hard to describe it or put a, is there a word? Can you put your finger on it? But Demon he just seems completely different body language tonight. He just seems much more relaxed. It's the Demon we know and love.
I have 40-30.
A couple of unforced errors off the forehand, one up high, trying to hit it too hard, one down low, trying to go big as well, and both of them in flat balls, not getting the spin. He seemed trying to whip up the back of it, but not getting it early enough to be able to get that spin.
Advantage, Team Australia. Deuce. Stop.
He's gone big on a lot of points here, quickly within the rally. Can't go bigger than that on a second serve.
Advantage, Team Australia.
Certainly took a gamble on this one. That is a great looking first serve location, let alone second. And Leighton likes it.
And that's the reaction we're used to seeing. Come on. From de Minaur to Captain Hewitt, and he levels at 2-all.
And de Minaur at 6 in the rankings, but if you actually take into account what's happening this week in the live rankings, de Minaur is ahead of Auger Aliassime. He's actually bumped up to number 5. De Minaur and Musetti have both leapfrogged Auger Aliassime, who now sits at number 7 in the rankings that are happening in real time. Next Monday is when the new rankings come out. That's what the seedings for the Australian Open will be based off of. Auger Aliassime cannot catch Alex this week, but Musetti's playing in Hong Kong. He could.
beautiful movement, closing the net down.
That was excellent. Look, if things hold the way they are this time next week, Minaur will be sitting on a new career-high ranking of top 5 in the world. That is a huge milestone.
Yeah, amazing achievement. For those of you who may not understand how our rankings work, they're on a 52-week basis. So every Monday they reset, and that's based on how you played in that week the previous year. So that's why Auger Aliassime has dropped. He performed better here at the United Cup last year than this.
The 15 all.
Nice change up there too from Mensik. Third double.
15-30.
It's one of the key things that the Czech players are quite good at, is they'll throw in a serve volley on a point where you least expect it. They've been well crafted. They have a lot of club tennis. They play a lot of singles, a lot of doubles, a lot of mixed within that framework. And they're really taught at a young age the craft of tennis because of that. And obviously they grow up in the summer on the clay courts, indoors through the winter. He had the upper hand in the rally, Jim, and lost it.
Mensik is not having a problem when they're exchanging the rapid fire rallies here. It's more the change of pace and the change of height of the slice backhand that's been troublesome for him. Love to see Alex introduce a little bit more of that slice backhand if he can. I know it's not as easy when the court's this quick. Now here's a moment. That ball misses. And this is the first break point of the match, and it's for the man in the green and gold.
And he gets it, he breaks the forehand down, and it is Minaur for Team Australia. Ahead 3-2 first set.
Team Australia, these 3 games to 2.
And this is an interesting dynamic, Wally. I know you're watching there. You've got the captain, Leighton Hewitt, and they kind of have got an unspoken rule with them that Leighton doesn't say a lot unless Alex really asks for it. So you often see them both staring off into space on the change of ends. It's a different dynamic to a lot of the other teams here.
Yeah, and he's just having a little chat to Adolfo, who's his coach on tour, and Matt Reed is also behind him. Matt spends some time on tour with him when Adolfo is not there. So, yeah. And, you know, Leighton has spent a lot of time with Demon over the years on the practice court, so there's been a lot said and done. So you are right. I think there's a little unspoken knowledge there.
Well, Team Australia, they certainly have the home crowd advantage tonight, and that was pretty noisy when Alex Minaur was able to get that break. That's Adolfo Gutierrez, the long-time coach of Alex Minaur. Started working with him in his early teens in Alicante in Spain. Worked with him before he actually moved back to Australia. as a 12-year-old, 13. He came back to live in Sydney. He was born in Cars Park, a suburb of Sydney. That was where he was brought up, and then the family moved back to Spain. I first met Alex. He was 12 years of age, and I was helping run the programs and brought him from Alicante up to Paris and Roland Garros, trying to introduce him to Australian tennis. The family were looking to potentially move him back here to come through our programs, and Adolfo was there with him on that occasion.
He got there in time. Can you be too fast?
He did. He almost overran it, Wally.
Yeah, got there with options. I was just saying, this is kind of Demon at his best. Look at that smart little chip just dropping. He's there with time to spare. He's got options, finishes past the ball. Just didn't quite get the spin. He almost had a grip to block it, but he could have given it a full-blooded drive. And there's Leighton doing his best. Donald Duck.
Well, not surprisingly, the longer the rallies have gone, the more they've favored de Minaur. In the short rallies, Mensik is able to bully him, particularly with the serve, but the longer the rallies go, 12-4 once you get to 5 shots or more. So if he can extend these rallies, big edge to the Aussie. And that's kind of why it's interesting that Alex is talking openly about trying to be more forceful, trying to take on the ball, trying to be more aggressive, because it's counter to what his real strength in his game is, which is just making things miserable for people in long rallies. But it's good to have eyes on making those improvements, because if he does want to tackle the new two and take on Yannick and Carlos, he's going to need something extra. That's true.
I don't see any, maybe Alcaraz perhaps, that have the ability though to approach and close the net as well as what Alex does.
14-15.
That first step, 2 steps after he realizes, okay, I'm on my way, he then has that ability to get in and get the volley up above net height. So very rarely does he not get that volley away.
After that slice, he rehearsed the double-hander, but, you know, yes, he clipped the tape, but I still think it's worthwhile. Persevere. Keep the change up.
So it's another hold for de Minaur.
Team Australia leads 4 games to 2.
Yeah, excellent. Couldn't get the pass, so just drops it in front and uses a lob. But a point indicative of the difference between moving forward and transitioning between the two players. See where he got caught, had to play the half volley. Now he's in trouble, Mensik.
First service. Left first service. 15 all.
Great little sidewinder drop shot. This is going to be a good angle to see the side spin that makes this a little too much for Demon to cover. He had it distance-wise, but then the width just added a little extra element to it. Nice racket work from the Czechian.
Out. 15-30.
Jim, you brought up that stat where Demon's winning the longer points. You've talked about how he's speaking about upping the ante and playing bigger. Well, you know, those longer points, and we've seen a few where he's dropped it short and Mensik's had to move forward, he's lobbed him, he's pushing the big man around. I mean, you can win by attrition too. Demon has that ability to win by attrition just with his foot speed, just wearing players down over time. There's a little sidewinder from Demon himself, but it seems to me that Demon, he just has to strike a balance between aggression and his ability to play a little sleepy consistently, use the slice, come forward. He's got a lot of strings to his bow.
And continually venturing through to the net. Aggressive play, gets the hold of serve, but it's Minaur with the break. 4-3, opening set.
Team Australia leads 4 games to 3.
Standing in picture with back to the screen there, that's Yuri Novak, and any tennis fan will be familiar with him, a beautifully smooth Czechian player of our era.
And the man speaking with Mensik right now is his day-to-day coach, Thomas Josephus. So they've got it in stereo there for him if he needs it.
Well, that's the skyline of the Sydney CBD, continuing to grow, and a beautiful city on what has been a magnificent weather day here today. Just Mid to high 20s it was today, and as we progress through the rest of this week, it's starting to really heat up into the Australian summer. In fact, I think it's Friday we're forecast in the 40s, so that's going to be tough. That's also happening down in Melbourne, so we could say maybe we get rid of those ones early on before the Australian Open. We don't want it that hot for the first major of the season. The good news here is that we have the roof. It's not air conditioned though. You can see at the top of the screen there the openings. That just is like a ventilation system, so it's more like a covering on a closed roof, but it's certainly made this stadium very enjoyable to be in and to play on. So Minaur serving with new balls, 4-3.
15 love.
Oh, what a shot. Open stance, sliding in on a hard court to the backhand. It's something that Novak Djokovic has added to the game that all of the younger generation now own. Have a look at this.
It's a player that took Mensik under his wings when Mensik was a young kid. Got to go spend some time training with Novak as a teenager and idolized him, understandably. Oh, that's off the line, and that is a problem for Team Australia. Mensik with a chance to get back on serve here, 15-40.
Lucky.
And 13-14.
So one of the two saved.
Took matters into his own hands here, went for the winner on that rather than approach into the backhand corner, which is what the math suggests is the high percentage play. He just said, I'm going to go ahead and finish this off. This isn't an approach. This is a point ender, and it was. And is that the end to Mensik's chances in this set? We shall see.
Team Australia.
Demon about to escape this challenge. He can win this point.
Yep.
Not yet.
Deuce.
You can see the knee ball's just really making a difference on this game here. Alex, because he doesn't have as much spin, losing a bit of control, but it's actually helping Mensik get the ball onto him faster. There's another one.
Advantage, Team Czechia.
It's a third opportunity to get it back level here for Mensik.
Deuce.
Mensik's forehand, he's working to try and get more topspin on it, but as it stands right now, it's one of the flattest forehands in men's tennis, and when you rush it like Alex de Minaur did like that, and he tries to fight fire with fire and hit pace, he doesn't put enough topspin to bring it back down on the court very often.
That's a big hole, saves 3 break points and hangs on to the breaker serve, 5-3.
Team Australia leads 5 games to 3.
Ooh, back to the line.
And 15 love.
Catches a good bit of it.
And 30 love. And 40 love.
This is a good game for Mensik, exactly what he needed to do after having chances, just to see if he could get a quick game, put the pressure straight back on the Australian. See whether de Minaur's up to being able to serve it out or not. So he holds to love, and when we come back after this change of ends, it'll be Alex de Minaur serving for the first set at 5-4.
Australia is 5 games to 4.
Captain Hewitt just allowing de Minaur to have his space here, physically and mentally, just to prepare for what's ahead here.
Couple of Australian Wallabies right there, football players, Nick White and Tom Lana on the right, in the more Hawaiian-like shirt, you could say, Jim.
I can confirm that's a Hawaiian-type shirt.
Oh, no, I beg your pardon. I got myself mixed up. They're both on their phone. They're not focusing. You see the Mambo shirt right there?
I do. Wally, help us out.
At time.
I'm a leaguey. I'm a public school boy. Union is for the private schools. I didn't get to go to a private school, Jim.
Understood.
But I can confirm they are 2 rugby union forwards.
Gotcha. And I can confirm that Alex de Minaur is going to try and close out the opening set here at 5-4, having survived the 3 break points in his last service game.
Slightly better serving display from the Demon, isn't it, than the other night? If someone told me when Demon was 14 and 15 years of age that he would have a serve in excess of 200 Ks, I would have disagreed. But there it is, 205. Well, I don't think Demon appreciated that brilliant open stance backhand pass in a previous game from Mensik. So he's had a couple of 50-50 balls and he has just clubbed them hard into the forehand. One for a winner, and that one set the backhand up nicely.
That's how you neutralize the speed of Alex de Minaur, by going behind him there. He was so far out of court into his forehand corner trying to cover the backhand. Great vision and execution from Mensik just to stay in touch in this game. Try and get the ball to the forehand of Mensik if you're de Minaur in this rally. That's the weaker side.
Big point coming now.
You just got to stay away from his two-hander. That thing is lethal, as Alex is finding out.
Been a battle to be able to hang on here for de Minaur. Survived those 3 break points in the 8th game to go up 5-3. But here he finds himself with the first set point.
He's missed it.
Out, out, out. Deuce.
He just tried to steer it in. He needed to accelerate through the overhead. He saw Mensik going to his left, and let's hope it doesn't prove costly for the Australian.
And it's not unusual for players to have trouble with the canopied roof and all the apparatus. There's a lot of steel up there. It's intricate. It's not easy to spot the ball. Certainly makeable, but understandable that it was a challenge. And the challenge to close the set continues.
Ball.
That's pressure.
Team
Well as Minaur moves and the footwork is, they were a little slow there, and that was the reason he caught it late. And so from set point to break point.
Ball.
He did well just to make anything off that backhand stretch. In fact, he put it back in the worst possible position for Mensik.
Yeah, Mensik on the forehand that's coming inside out. He hit it better than he wanted to. This was incredible that Alex was able to get there and dig it out, and then it's low. And that's the one he has trouble doing much with in the forecourt, because he doesn't have the same kind of topspin that most players on tour do to cover it. And that one flies, and here comes another set point.
Advantage. Team Australia. Deuce.
Ball.
You like that, didn't you, Wally?
Well, who said the slice is dead? It was that jag slice at full stretch that landed in the service square that got him out of trouble. Then it's the slice as a change of pace that draws an error. He played that pretty safely, Mensik. Not a lot of racket head speed. Set point number 2.
And he seals it with an ace. Minaur takes the opening set. It was a battle. 6 games to 4 in 57 minutes. Set number 2.
some of the stuff Demon's done tonight would run contrary to what he's been saying about playing bigger. It's actually been his ability. It's not like Mensik's going to miss when Demon plays the slice, but he plays it more carefully, and then Demon will sting the next one. There's a real change of pace and just upsetting the rhythm of the big man. The slice stays low. So the idea that he can hit people off the court, well, it's a nice idea, but I think he's got to look at his frame and then look at his skill set and work out the combination.
Well, now that will test the fitness, Wally, of Jakub Mensik, as we were discussing during that break.
Love 30.
My intel is that he's had a bit of a cold the last couple of days, so feeling a little under the weather.
Well, you got Jim Courier next to you there, Todd. Ask him about winning by attrition. I know it's a slightly faster game these days, but it still applies.
Oh, yeah.
Work people over.
Yep.
Jim, you had a knack of doing that.
And my fellow American Andre Agassi was even better at it. Called him the Punisher, because he would go out. And Todd, I think, felt the brunt of this at one point. Maybe you did too, Wally. I certainly did. Andre was cruel. He would sometimes extend points when he could finish them off just to make you run more.
Oh, 100%, Jim. He made me question why I was playing the game.
Yeah, nice one too, to bring it back to 30-all. We've talked a lot about the slice and how effective it is. You didn't want to give Andre a slice.
No.
That's for sure.
No, he would work you over.
Yeah. I was worked over too many times to want to remember.
Now looking forward to having Andre down along with Leighton and Pat Rafter and Roger Federer for the new opening night, opening ceremony the Saturday before the main draw starts at the AO. Here's a moment, break chance for Team Australia right out of the gate in set 2.
30-40.
Same story. Low ball, bunted back inside the service square. Big man's got to move forward. He's got no pace to work with. The ball's below knee height. I mean, I'm not saying it's easy to do.
But you are saying it's effective, and you're right.
It's effective.
Break point. Saves it with the big serve.
Mensik, he and his coach have talked about how they went to work in the off-season in Tenerife, off the coast of Southern Europe, on trying to change his forehand swing a little bit. There is Thomas Josephus, his coach. His swing is not as fluid as most forehands you'll see. It's a two-piece swing. He takes the racket up, and it's not a continuous motion naturally. He drops it down and has to restart his momentum, and as a result, it's more challenging for him to get topspin on the ball, and that's something that they're searching for. And as Minaur searches for the break, a serve, and gets another chance here, it's not easy to kind of deconstruct the forehand. Just ask Coco Gauff. It's hard to do when you've done it your whole life. So they're working on it, but that's the reason that the low balls are a challenge for him.
Sensational get from Minaur, and it gets him the break. Well, most athletes at this level may not even get to that ball, and if they do, I don't think they'd be able to do this with it. Let's have another look.
Yeah, this is insanity. To even get there, there's maybe 4 people on the tour that could get there, and I don't think Carlos Alcaraz is the only other player that can come up with this kind of genius.
Yeah, have a look at the movement, but then also the racket work where he had the bevel of the racket being right in the right place just to be able to open it and then get around the outside of the ball.
That's theater of the absurd.
You guys are a couple of showmen. You love that big moment, but did you like the little crush and rush at Deuce off the forehand, just out of the blue?
Yeah, what a pressure builder.
That's Demon. He's got to be like Drill Bit Taylor, just 5 kinds of smoke.
A 15 love.
Wally, we have a question for you.
Yeah, the switchboard just lit up. Tough point, but who is Drill Bit Taylor?
Oh, it's an Owen Wilson movie. I was just excited, you know. I just want to see Demon come out of his shoes, show us everything he's got. There was that little forward press off the forehand off a second serve, and you know, I've seen him in practice over so many years. He can do so much, and I just get a bit frustrated when I hear about this power. He's got so many strings to his bow, and we're seeing them tonight.
Owen Wilson movie, Wally. Don't tempt me with a good time. Send me a link to where I can find that.
Now, that's the first time we've seen him check out. He's been up for the contest, but he shook his head. When Demon made that little chip cross court, he looked towards the player box and he just shook his head. And then we see a little check out there, just playing a drop shot out of nowhere. That I don't think it made the net. So, interesting. See where Mensik goes from here.
Too good. And right now, Alex de Minaur is too good for Jakub Mensik. They both started their seasons playing the same guy. Casper Ruud was
15.
Unbelievably good against Alex de Minaur. Beat him 3-3. But Mensik overpowered Casper in a good one, 7-5, 7-6. And it's a bad matchup for Casper compared to Alex because of the way they hit the ball. Casper hits the ball with so much topspin, the ball bounces up high into the big check-in strike zone, and Demon's keeping the ball very low out of the strike zone. And matchups matter, big time.
40-30.
That's the fascinating part about our sport, isn't it?
One of them.
Yeah. And also the history that you may have built in the earlier days that you come across, whether you play someone in juniors, and that psychological scarring can definitely play a part as you progress. Once again, draws the error and consolidates.
And once again, it's on a low forehand, and that is what is being served up tonight compared to when he played Casper Ruud. This is where Mensik has made contact on the forehands on average against Casper Ruud. Look how high that is compared to when we pop up the blue line against Alex de Minaur. There's going to be a 27-centimeter difference. It's 27 centimeters lower. And that means that he has to try and hit it with more topspin, can't use as much speed. But if he wants to use speed, he's bringing the net into play. And boy, has he found that a lot tonight.
Yeah, great build. And that's the average too. And then some of them are shooting through even lower.
That's correct.
Love 15.
You know, in the mixed doubles, they have the timeout buzzer, which teams can use. And if they had it available for singles, this would be about the time they'd want to use it for Mensik, because he kind of looks like he's dazed at the moment.
Well, part of that reason is that you, as a player at the other end, when you come up against someone like Alex, who's in this type of mindset and form this evening, is that you can't see a way to win a point quickly. Even in that rally, that huge forehand that Alex still gets back and has to play one more. If you're not feeling up to 100%, you go, do I have enough in the tank to be able to outlast this guy? Do I have a game big enough to be able to get it through him? And those are questions that are circling in Mensik's mind right now.
$13, 15.
Excuse me. And that's the reaction it deserves. I tell you what, if the timing just got a little off, the match might have been over. Let's take a look. Wally, help me.
15.
I don't know what to say, Todd. There's risk of personal injury right here.
It was a long way away. That was a highlight, no doubt. Okay, he's on the board in the second set. Check out Mensik. Down a break and a set. Team Australia lead 2-1.
Tady máš sushi, jestli potřebuješ.
Let's have another look at this serve and volley. That's pretty skillful.
I mean, that would have been a great volley if he played it in front of his body, let alone behind it. That was right out of the middle.
How clean did he get it?
Unbelievably great.
How much time do you think he spends practicing that?
Well, I don't know. More time than on the low volley, perhaps out to the right-hand side.
That was unbelievable.
As is so often the case, we'll see if it holds, but the player with the highlight shot oftentimes comes in second place.
Well, Alex de Minaur doing his best to try to keep Team Australia in the competition. Barbora Krejcikova having taken out the women's singles in the opening match in this tie in straight sets over Australia's Maya joint. Somewhat to be expected with the pedigree of Krejcikova. Pretty much the winner of this match and tie will go through to win the quarterfinal, or to go through to the quarterfinal, I should say.
Time.
So Alex de Minaur collecting the balls, coming out to serve with the break in hand, having taken the first set in a tight battle 6-4. Yet another
15 love.
loose forehand. What are the stats on that at the moment, Jim? The unforced to winners.
Still looking for his second winner on the forehand.
Incredible, isn't
in
it?
the match. He has 12 unforced errors off that side.
Make that 13.
Yeah.
It's interesting when you watch it, given that one there. The balance, everything's flailing away, falling out of it. He doesn't get loaded on that right leg. Interesting when the backhand is just so simple and tight, and the forehand is complete opposite of that.
Yep.
A 14 love.
Oh, man. Routine volley. There's 40-15 instead of the game.
14,
not
15.
No tragedy yet, but certainly uncharacteristic. He's normally so solid on those.
I think it was a little easier than he was really expecting. Take him out wide, open up the court and drill it on the line. That'll get it done. We're talking about the forehand, Jim. It's 3-1 Minaur, and let's have a little bit of a breakdown of that side on there.
So see how the racket just drops to the ground there instead of going back and facing the back fence. It's really not pretty. And his backhand is so clean and simple, but instead of taking it back to the fence, it drops straight down. Then he has to start his momentum all over again. He loses gravity. Most players use gravity. He's fighting against it because he has to restart once he drops that thing down towards the ground. He's strong enough to still create a lot of speed on the ball if it's sitting up high, but because of that swing, he's not able to brush up on the ball with the same velocity that so many of his peers do in the sport. And then he can't be as offensive from down low. We've probably gone over that too much tonight.
It's really gone. Like, that was messy.
He's broken it, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, that came out. If it comes as a mishit and misses by a big distance, you kind of get it. But that was out of the middle, about 7 inches below the height of the net.
Right, I think as Alex presses the attack button here and gets to 15-30, it's worth remembering that someone like Novak Djokovic, his serve and his forehand both improved dramatically over the course of his career. We're seeing players like Sinner and Alcaraz tinker with their technique throughout the season. Mensik's running out of time in this match, but he's got a lot of time to fix that forehand, and he's working on it. But Demon's working on keeping Australia in the United Cup.
And when he gets momentum, he's very good at just shutting his opponent completely out. That's what's happening here. So 2 points for a double break. And he's really closing it in here is Minaur. He's got the double break. 6-4, 4-1, Team Australia.
Team Australia leads 4 games to 1.
Well, the sun has just about set here at Ken Rosewall Arena and potentially on this match as well. But let's take a look at that city skyline. That is Darling Harbour in Sydney. And I tell you what, if you can get out on the harbour, lovely boat cruise around at this time of night, it is sensational. Warm, balmy weather and plenty to see. Great food in the CBD at the restaurants. And if you love your theatre, I can highly recommend heading down to the Sydney Opera House as well. Great pictures. Well, the fans are going to get what they hope for here tonight in Ken Rosewall Arena. It is looking like Australia's Alex de Minaur is about to level this up, and then it's going to come down to a mixed doubles to decide who's going to win this group and go through to the quarter-final.
Boys, there's a term in boxing, the silent contract, where both fighters enter it. One fighter knows he's lost, the other fighter knows he's won, and they go through the dance. Just looking at Mensik's face as he was walking to his chair there, it looked like he'd entered into the silent contract. Just running out of ideas, and that forehand breaking down.
So 4-1 double break for de Minaur serving.
He's angry.
Lot 15. And 15-0.
Jim, you were just talking about Novak improving his forehand over the years and certainly learned how to hit through it. And you're sort of suggesting with Mensik it's got to be more of a takeaway where the butt cap faces the ground, the head of the racket faces the roof, and then gravity takes over. Smooth arc.
Yep, it just needs to be more fluid, right? More of a one-piece swing. Like Alex's. Oh. Mensik lost his footing a little bit and couldn't recover it. Looks like he's okay, though. But if you watch Alex's forehand here, once his racket starts moving, it doesn't stop, right? It starts at the top, and there it keeps moving. We'll see if Mensik there nearly rolled his ankle, fellas.
At 40-30.
His point in the match is trying to go bigger, keep points shorter. But that means a lot of risk. And de Minaur just a game away from levelling it all up here on Ken Rosewall Arena.
Team Australia leads 5-1.
Just I might be able to get a quick shot of Mensik on the bench at the moment. He's actually sitting down there with Yuri Novak, void of any more ideas of what to do here. Serving to stay in the match.
Love 15.
It's frustrating for Mensik, but you know, one match leads to another. You've got to take something out of this. You can't just let it fall away and not take something out of the match.
Well, I hope that he's healthy, because after that last point, the point prior to this, he was kind of flexing his right leg like something was bothering him there.
Ball.
15 all here.
$15-30.
Well, it's been tale of two matches in this United Cup for Alex de Minaur. He has been sharp as could be tonight, and good signs for the Aussie,
40.
as he now has 2 match points.
$30-40. Ball.
And there you have it. The Demon delivers once again for Australia. Well, he broke his opponent, didn't he? The first set, 58 minutes, it was tight, and then Jakub Mensik just did not know where to go from there. And that will be a very pleasing and uplifting and confidence-building match for Alex.
Well, it's a very good match for Alex. It's a good matchup for him. He's now 5-0 against this rising star from Czechia. Demon sprinting away. What a second set that was from him. So clean. Survived a challenge at the end of the opening set. Did Alex to his serve. Had to save some break points in 2 separate service games. But there was big separation once he got to the second set. He's going to feel awfully good about that. Good night at the office for Alex de Minaur. Some confidence building and a pulse in Team Australia's chances to advance to the quarterfinals.
Well, it's going to be some mixed doubles that's coming up. There's JP Smith and Storm Sanders. She's Storm Hunter now. I always go back to her maiden name. And they're warming up for that mixed doubles. And Wally's got him. He's quickly over there. So let's go down to the court.
Well, Alex, congratulations. What a difference a day makes.
2 days. No, 100%. I mean, obviously didn't start the year the way I wanted to, but as I said, I tried to not take that match too much into account. I thought Casper played really well, but something that I've done really well in my career is bouncing back. So I'm very happy with the way I bounced back today.
What is it about Jakub's game? Tonight, you just seem to be able to create different styles of play. You used your slice, you came forward, brilliant serving display. there's something about his style of play that brings out the best in you.
Yeah, I definitely think I served better today. I mean, the first day I chucked in 8 double faults, which is very unlike me. So today I played really well. I was able to counter-punch quite well, return his serve, and then try to be aggressive. Ultimately, if I give him too many chances, he's way too good. He's got too much firepower. So I had to play on my terms, and of course, nothing better than being back here in Sydney.
Great to win in front of a home crowd, obviously. Demon, you've been an amazing representative for Australia in Davis Cup and the United Cup. The other night you didn't quite get the result you wanted, but your team rallied around you and you got the win. So you're still alive, obviously. The mixed doubles, hugely important. And Storm Sanders has been pretty good for Australia.
Yeah, look, we've got everything to play for right now. So please, everyone, stay. It's going to be a hell of a match, and hopefully we can get Australia over the line.
Well, absolutely, Demon. We hope to see more of you in that sort of form as the summer goes on.
Thank you, guys.
Well, on paper, the Australians putting JP Smith and Storm Hunter out for the mixed doubles, and I just wonder whether it will stay that way. There they are, prepping. And or whether the Demon decides to put himself back out there again. We'll wait and see. They have about 10 minutes to make that decision. But one of the key things you learn in this sport, we've talked about it, is it's matchups. It's style versus style. And that's one that now goes 5-0 for Alex de Minaur in the head-to-head department. And every time he sees that man in his draw, he'll feel fairly confident about it, regardless of how well Mensik has been playing. Let's take a look at the match summary, Jim. And one of the key factors in this was when we have a look at the service percentage, because rarely in de Minaur's matches do you see him actually above 60% of first serves, and that was something that he was able to achieve here tonight.
No, his first serve was good, and he was able to return the big powerhouse serve of Mensik, winning a good percentage of points against the Czechians' first serve, and that was why he was able to get into so many of those service games. And critically, Alex saved all 4 of the break points he faced and was great converting 4 out of the 6. Mensik had 30 unforced errors, just 17 winners against that. But you got to keep in mind, an unforced error against Alex de Minaur is largely forced by the defense of the Aussie. So he forces you to play closer to the line, and this has continued to be a challenge for Mensik when he plays de Minaur, as you mentioned, now 0-5.
So there you have it, that match summary, the score 6-4, 6-1, and it has set up a hugely exciting mixed doubles as we take a look at how things stand here in Sydney. Now, currently, it just all comes down to this. Where Australia's sitting there, if they win the mixed doubles, they win the group, and likewise for Czechia if they win the group. They still have an opportunity, though, based on those numbers there, to be the next best qualifier. But there's still more to focus on, and that is what's coming up next. And this is the lineup as it stands for the moment. Storm Hunter, JP Smith will be taking on Barbora Krejcikova and Jakub Mensik, but I've got a feeling we might see some changes on either team there, but we'll find that out in a moment. So we'll take a break, don't go far away, and come back and join us right here on Ken Rosewall Arena.